feel like this tapestry looks more professional than my old setup, which was just like the background of my room. But yeah, I've changed my room around, so now my bed is against my tapestry and I can just put my tripod here on the floor and use this as my background. I don't know if these cushions look cute or like stupid. We'll soon find out. Also, if my voice sounds weird, which it probably does, I've been ill for the last like 5-6 days. I've got this virus. Thanks, Dad. Like, this is the first sit down video I've done this year. And yeah, I feel like I even look different, like just with my bandana, and I'm wearing black and I never used to wear black. Really? Actually, okay, that's a lie, I did all the time. Like, who the frick doesn't wear black? Now I've kind of got the grungy look going on and I'm loving it. I thought I would do another one of these topic talk things. That's all I can think to call them, because like it's not a Q&A, like you're not asking me specific questions. You're just kind of like asking me to talk and give advice about scenarios, about situations, about topics within recovery and life with eating disorders and stuff like that. So yeah, it's not really a Q&A, but it kind of is at the same time. It's like more of a broad coverage of topics rather than me answering just one specific question about a topic. These earrings are annoying me. They're like dangling everywhere. Let's do this poo. Someone asked me to talk about cheat days and cheat meals. Okay, I was actually having a discussion with someone on my Instagram recovery account over DM, who basically said, you know, I've been eating pretty healthy. I think she was eating quite strict, like playing it safe, and then she was like, I'm gonna have a cheat day tomorrow, how do you suggest I go about it? This is my opinion, because I just feel like it's an unhealthy habit, but I don't believe in cheat days and cheat meals. Like, the ideal person who doesn't have an eating disorder, who has a healthy relationship with food, I think should be able to eat these cheat foods whenever the hell they want, because like no food is a cheat food. Like, everything is healthy in moderation, and your body needs a bit of everything. So there's no such thing as a food that, you know, you should only be able to eat if you're like having a cheat day or a cheat meal or like just a cheat food. Like, I think it's an unhealthy mental habit to be in, to like believe and interpret one food as a really bad food that you can only eat on a cheat day. I don't think that's healthy mentally at all. Obviously, this is more of a like during recovery they're talking about, like, you know, they're eating fear foods, so they count it as a cheat day. But I wouldn't call that a cheat day. Like, just be proud of yourself that you're able to eat a food that, you know, would otherwise make you quite anxious or trigger your eating disorder and the negative thoughts that come with it. Recovery, I think, is all about slowly bringing those foods that you find fearful into your everyday diet, so that eventually it's just a part of your everyday. So yeah, I totally get why people would call it cheat meals and cheat foods. They're just kind of trying to like block out the negative thoughts and eat it and tell themselves that it's okay. But I think it's unhealthy to do that, because I feel like having cheat days and cheat foods is people not accepting that cheat foods are okay foods. Like, you don't have to be having a cheat day to eat them. They should be a part of your balanced diet. Like I said, everything is in moderation is healthy. So yeah, I feel like that is my opinion on the topic. I do get why people would try and have these cheat days, but I just feel like long term it doesn't get you anywhere. Like, it doesn't make you deal with the negative thoughts you have around those foods that you're eating on the cheat days. It's more like people just trying to ignore the fact that they find them fearful. Does that make sense? I feel like I rambled. I kind of feel a bit anxious when I share my opinion, because obviously everything that I speak about my channel is from experience and just my opinion, not facts. But like, I don't know, I feel like it's so much more easier to argue with someone if they're stating their opinion rather than a fact. But yeah, and I just don't want to offend anyone. Like, I get so scared. Like, if someone's gonna be really mean to me, then like I don't care about that, because like they're weenies. But I just mean, like, I just don't want to offend anyone. Like, if someone only means well and is watching this video and stuff and then I offend them, I don't want to do that. And it's hard to avoid it completely when you're just stating an opinion rather than a fact. How to beat your mind. I don't want to think about gaining weight 24/7, but I still want a flat tummy and stuff like that. Okay, that makes sense. it's a very slow process, and for me, the first thing I did, even when I was having these negative thoughts, I was listening to my rational mind. I just missed my finger. I was listening to my rational mind, you know, the part of me that was like, okay, I know I need to eat, you know, it's a fact, everyone needs to eat. I'm like very much underweight. Like, I was listening to all the doctors who were telling me that I needed to sort myself out. I was listening to my family, you know, who obviously wanted the best for me. Just surround yourself with positivity, and it's not as easy as challenging these thoughts and just like saying, oh, you're wrong, and then going ahead and like eating a crap ton of food, because it doesn't work like that. You've got to train your brain. There is a difference between accepting something and believing it. It's like when I was losing weight, when I was like going through my eating disorder, I always believed that I needed to get better, but I didn't accept it, you know? Like, I knew that, I mean, pretty much everyone with an eating disorder has a small part of their mind that's like, at least a small part, that's like, okay, I know what I'm doing isn't healthy. Like, no one, you know, knows that it's a good thing to do to your body, but it's a completely different story accepting it and wanting to change. Like, you don't even have to want to change to accept that you have to change. Does this make any sense? I don't know. For me, after I had that hospital appointment where I was diagnosed with anorexia nervosa, I started, you know, giving my body more of what it needs. I didn't dive in straight away because, like I said, it doesn't work like that. But yeah, as I slowly like started eating a healthy diet, giving myself enough of what my body needed, eating like enough of everything, I was slowly like building up to eating enough. You know, just making sure I was eating as much as I was comfortable with. After that, mentally, and like I said, I was surrounding myself with these positive thoughts. Slowly, I started really accepting that what I was doing now, i.e. trying to eat more stuff, was so much more better, so much more rewarding and just better for everyone around me and myself, physically and mentally, than listening to my eating disorder. Like, I was just so much better off. So I feel like to challenge yourself and your mind, you just have to like do it. Like, it might be different for everyone, but it just didn't work out for me sitting down and telling myself that I needed to change. I had to change first, and then I looked back and I told myself, okay, this is good, this is what I need to keep doing. What are you doing, son? Go away. Just gotta wait now. But yeah, does that make sense? Like, it's not as easy as just sitting down with your mind and telling you, like, obviously that, like, you can sit down with yourself, you know, and tell yourself that you need to change, but it's not until you actually change that you start to believe that it's for the best, and that's then when you can, you know, challenge your mind, and that's when you accept that, for example, like you said, like, you will no longer want this flat tummy because you know you don't need it. Again, like, did that make any sense? I am sorry if it didn't. I hope you get what I mean. It's so hard because I always know exactly what I want to say, but just putting it into words, like when it's such a specific and important to me subject, like all of these are, I really want to get it right, and I really want to be able to help as many people as possible by wording it right. So it takes me like 5 minutes to answer each question because I'm like, did I say that right? I just watched one of my clip backs and those pillows look absolutely ridiculous, so off with them. It's also kind of annoying that I'm not exactly in the centre of my tapestry, but oh well. My microphone is also so messed up, so I'm sorry that it's like so fuzzy. I'll try and fix that before the next video because that's really annoying and like you can hardly hear what I'm saying. How my parents supported me through my journey. My parents have actually been amazing. My dad didn't know very much about it until I was like diagnosed, and so it was quite a shock for him, just because my mum is the parental character that I speak to more about, you know, my issues and stuff, and my mum actually used to have anorexia, so she got it. So I've been talking to her about it since I was 14. I remember like ringing her and I was like, Mum, something's wrong, like I can't eat what I want, I don't know what's happening. And they were both just amazing because once I started recovering, they didn't check up on me very much, like not obsessively, not like I feel like most parents probably would or like even should, just because they knew how much I wanted to change and they could see it, and you know, they like see me eating independently, and I didn't give them any reason to worry. Like, it's not like they never saw me eat, you know. and, you know, they'd be like, oh, how's your eating going, you know, have you eaten today? But it wasn't very often that they had to do that, just because I was so independent on my recovery when it came to eating, just because, like, I have OCD, I like control, and obviously, you know, there's a lot of control issues when you have an eating disorder. So I feel like I challenged that control and I put it into eating healthy. And yeah, they could tell that I was kind of challenging everything at once, but very slowly. Like, I had fat and sugar in my diet from the start. It wasn't like I started off really, really clean and then kind of added these fear foods in, like I feel like, you know, a lot of people would, and that works absolutely fine too, but I feel like it kind of just depends on the person. Like, for me, it was just better to start off with a little bit of everything and then gradually increase. I didn't give them any reason to worry, but they were still, like, there for me, and I knew I could talk to them, and if I ever had a bad day, I'd reach out to either one of them. But yeah, they were just really supportive, and I'm very, very lucky, because I know a lot of parents, especially because we're kind of like the first generation who was speaking about it so openly. Like my mum, no one knew what was wrong with her when she was younger, and it wasn't until she was about 30 that she probably realised, like, oh, okay, maybe I have an eating disorder. And that's understandable, because, you know, it's not something they were aware of when they were younger, but it's just a shame that, you know, not everyone has that support, so I'm very grateful that I did. Can you please speak about dealing with weight gain in recovery? Again, this is something that happens gradually. Like, you don't suddenly gain all the weight back. It's just not how it works. And I was really, really scared that that would be how it worked. And I knew that I was okay with gaining a little bit of weight. But I knew that if I was to have gained like a stone in a week, I would have been like, oh my god, like, what the hell is wrong with me? It would have triggered me back into a relapse. And that was my biggest fear in recovery, was, you know, something like that out of my control, like the sudden weight gain happening and then I relapsing just because of that. But yeah, you don't gain all the weight back, so it's fine. Like, it's just not how it works. Like, your body kind of, you know, especially if you've been starving yourself for so long, and if you have lost weight through your eating disorder, you definitely won't gain it back all at once. It's just not how it works. I don't really know why, but I kind of get how that's not how it works, but I can't explain it. I don't know. But yeah, it's something that I slowly accepted. As I slowly increased my intake, I slowly gained weight, and mentally I slowly started accepting that that was okay. So I do feel like it's a case of, again, you kind of just have to do it. You can't sit down with yourself and be like, yeah, weight gain's okay, because, you know, you've been struggling, like, you've had an eating disorder, and one of the biggest signs of an eating disorder is fear of weight gain. So it's completely understandable that at the beginning of your recovery, when you do start to gain, that you're going to be afraid, and like, that's not a bad thing. Don't feel bad for, you know, fearing weight gain. Like, you have an eating disorder, that's not your fault. Slowly, as you increase and gain, you will mentally become okay with that. Not depending your food intake on others. I compare myself especially to what my sister eats. Okay, comparing yourself to other people in recovery is really common, and I get a lot of messages saying, like, how do I not do this, or people, you know, telling me that they do it. You've got to remember that you're in recovery. You're also aiming to eat healthier, which is something that the person you're comparing yourself to might not be doing. Like, I mentioned this in a couple of videos back, but I do not think that, like, most teenagers eat half of what they need to, or they eat really unhealthy, as in they either don't eat enough or they don't eat enough vitamins and, you know, stuff like that. But it's just not good to compare yourself to someone else, because you are different sizes, you have different lifestyles, you have different metabolic rates. You know, there's just so many variances that it just isn't logical to compare yourself to someone else. One of my brothers has quite a low metabolic rate, the other has quite a high metabolic rate. Like, it wouldn't make sense for me to compare myself to either of the two, because one of them might be really active, one of them might not be. And then there's, like, my sister, she's like 4 years younger than me, so obviously she might need more food. She does a lot more exercise than me, so, you know, she might need more food. You know, then if you're in recovery, you need more if you're gaining, if you have lost weight. You know, and then there's, like, if you're in recovery, you're working on giving yourself a balanced and a healthy diet and eating enough for yourself, whereas your sister or someone who you might be comparing yourself to might not be giving their body enough. So then you look at them and you're like, why am I eating so much more than this person? Whereas there might be so much more behind it, like they might not be eating enough. So that is a habit that you will grow out of. You just kind of need to challenge it. You need to tell yourself and your eating disorder that that's really not a healthy habit to be in. Like, it's not logical, it doesn't make sense, and it's not going to get you anywhere. It's only going to make you feel worse. Yeah, there's a couple people that asked me to talk about comparing food. Could you mention your healthy eating now that you're in a stable recovery place? Right, I think I mentioned in the last video that, you know, I'm looking to eat healthy and just give my body more of what it needs. But yeah, I mean, there's not a lot behind it. It was more so the fact that I was just eating really bad. Like, the last 6 months, I've just been, like, giving myself a load of, like, you know, feeding myself a load of crap. I feel like I wasn't eating enough. I feel like only just, but that's still important for me. I'm aware that I'm fussy and I want to feed my body what it needs because I'm very protective of it after what I've put it through with my eating disorder. You know, I do want to make sure that I'm healthy, and health is very important to me, probably more so than it would be to someone who hasn't had an eating disorder. But either way, like, it's not an unhealthy habit to be in. I don't feel mentally, like, obsessive. I'm just making sure that I'm eating more nutritiously, that I'm eating vitamins and vegetables and fruit and stuff that I wasn't giving myself. I'm not, like, there is nothing wrong with fat and processed food, but if that's all you're eating and you're not giving your body the vitamins it needs, you're not going to be as healthy as you can be. And it was kind of taking a toll on me as well. I feel like mentally I didn't feel very healthy. Physically I felt awful. I've gained a lot of weight, and I don't think that's a bad thing. Like, weight gain is fine. If I was eating healthy and I was to be this size, I wouldn't care. But it's the fact that I'm this size after eating, like, roughly. I feel like, you know, I shouldn't be this size just because I can be healthier. Healthy does not mean clean. It doesn't mean you eat no sugars, you eat no fats, you eat no carbs, because sugars, fat and carbs are life for me. I bloody love them all. Especially carbs. Mwah. Like, I'm not gonna cut down on carbs. I'm not gonna cut down on, like, fat in silly ways that someone, you know, would be if they were really trying to lose weight. I'm not trying to lose weight. I am just giving my body more of what it needs. Like I said, eating healthy in a way that I'm giving it vitamins and stuff that it needs to be healthy. And yeah, whatever my body decides to do, like, I will let it do. If it stays this weight, then fine, I'm supposed to be this weight, you know. I just feel like the weight I am at the moment after eating unhealthy isn't the weight I am supposed to be. I feel like, you know, everyone should give their body a bit of everything, what it needs, and healthy, not so that they're, like, obsessively dieting or eating clean. Whereas, like, I don't believe in unhealthy foods. Like I said in the last question, everything is healthy in moderation. I'm bigger than I usually am. I do not mind that because of the fat or the weight gain or, like, the cellulite or the stretch marks. I don't care about that at all. I do care, however, that it's just a symptom of the fact that I wasn't looking after my body enough. And yeah, if I lose weight, then, like, I'm okay with that. You know, nothing drastic at all. Obviously, I'm aware that I'm still a small person. Like, I've always been slim and I don't want to lose a lot, and I'm not looking to lose weight. That's not why I'm trying to eat healthy. If you want an extra slice of cake, have it. Like, don't worry about those extra couple of pounds. I won't ever worry about that kind of stuff, you know. If I want an extra slice of cake, I'ma eat an extra slice of cake. I'm wearing my fucking earring back to front. Are you being serious? I'm wearing it that way, not that way.
Oh wow, I'm stupid. Ow. Proceed.
But yeah, for example, I want to tone up. I want to start doing my toning workouts again. I'm so weak. I bloat ridiculously. I don't care about the bloating side. I just care about the fact that my muscles are so unhealthy and weak that they expand that much, if that makes sense. But they stretch that much. Like, if they were healthy and strong and toned, I wouldn't bloat as much. So I feel like that's an easier way to describe it. Like, it's the same kind of idea as with my eating. Like, I don't have a problem with the bloating, but the bloating means that my muscles are unhealthy, and I don't want unhealthy muscles, you know? If my muscles become healthy and I still bloat, then I don't care. As long as my muscles are healthy, I don't care what I look like. But yeah, so I just want to be healthy, you know? I want to look after my body, give it what it needs. And I will not be cutting down on chocolate because I like chocolate. And I have an itchy elbow. you know, it's just nothing against dieting, like I said. It's just I know what it's like to take it too far, and I don't want to risk going there again. Planning for the future, I'm so scared, the anxiety. Girl, same. Yeah, I try not to worry about it too much. It does get to me, but I know it shouldn't. Yeah, I mean, if you're around my age, like, I left college nearly 2 years ago now. Most of my friends are at uni, and then they're gonna, like, go into a full-time job and, like, you know, stuff like that, whereas I do music, which literally means I do, like, a couple open mics a week. I write my own songs, you know, I record. This year's a lot better, like, I'm planning to go to a lot more open mics, and I've already got one gig. I've got a, like, little beer festival booked in June or July, I can't remember. I'm a great planner. And it's all well and good, but music is so slow. Like, I've been doing it for 3.5 years nearly. I've been performing at open mics and stuff. You know, obviously I'm getting places, like, my confidence now is so much better than it was when I started. I can write a song now, whereas 3.5 years ago I couldn't really write a song for my life. But that's not really earning me money. I go busking, which occasionally, I mean, I can get £15 for an hour of busking, sometimes even more, but, you know, it's not an income. So on the side, I'm doing bar work. I've got friends who are in, like, full-time jobs. I've got friends who are going to uni, who are busy 24/7, being a student, and then they're going into full-time work. And it's like, okay, you know exactly what you want to do with your life. You've got a perfect path that you're going to follow, most likely. Obviously, you never know what's going to happen. Right now, if I look at things short term, all of my friends are at uni, you know, full-time, busy being a student, and then they're going straight into a career. Or I've got friends who are working full-time. It might not be a career, but it's something that they could do for the rest of their lives. You know, they've got a proper income, they're working full-time, they're busy, they're doing something with their life. Whereas right now, if I look at myself, I'm doing part-time bar work, about, you know, 2 at the most 3 shifts a week, because I've just started doing bar work. I'm kind of new to it. And I do music. So right now, I feel like I mean, it's a fact, I'm not being as productive as my friends are physically. I'm not getting out there. But I'm working just as hard, if not harder, because, like, they already kind of have something, you know, whereas I've got to work my arse off so that I can get music. But yeah, this time 5 years, I could be happier than, you know, one of my friends who might end up, like, dropping out of uni, or, like, you know, just because right now you're kind of uncertain of things, it doesn't mean things aren't going to plan out in the future. Just kind of why I was rambling there. I wasn't just telling you my life story for no reason. But yeah, don't worry about it. Like, do what makes you happy. That is why I'm doing music. Like, yes, it's a struggle now, but I am doing it so that this time, 5, even 10 years from now, I'm going to be doing something that I love. It's a blessing and a curse how, like, passionate and stubborn I am. And also, we're still, like, so young. Like, 20 for teenagers might seem old, but even 20 is so young. Like, it doesn't matter if you don't know what you want to do till you're, like, 30. But whether you mean career-wise, or, like, income-wise, or, you know, education, because you just say planning for the future, like, or even if you mean, like, recovery-wise, just do the best that you can now. Just, like, make sure that you're doing what makes you happy, that you're happy with yourself and your morals and the person that you are, or the person you're becoming. I don't know, life's just kind of crazy. Like, you can't really worry about what's going to happen in the future, because you never know. Using your past to worry about your future, or using your present to worry about your future, is just so not worth it. And I have, like, no memory left, so I need to end this video here. Thank you for your questions. Sorry if I didn't get to answer it, but I feel like I talked a lot today. Like, it took me like 5 minutes at least to answer each question. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that it helped you. You can always feel free to send me questions that I will, like, you know, screenshot and keep in my phone until I want to film another one of these videos. You can either comment it or leave it in my Instagram DMs, and I will get back to you. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helped you, and I will see you in my next video.